Welcome to BVM. My name is Noluthando, also known as the Advocate of Self-Love. This is the platform, the channel, the podcast where beauty meets motivation, where we talk about how to channel yourself, how to evolve, how to become the best person that you can possibly be. And today, of course, I have another incredible guest. And let me start off by saying she's my friend and I'm very proud of her. And I thought, let me honor her journey by actually having her on the BVM chair so that, even the world can know that anything that you set your mind to, you can actually achieve. Her name is Bongiwe Msweli. She hails from KZN, but grew up in Joburg, right?
Yeah.
And she is a law girly. You know what? I'm not even going to take too much time to introduce her. I'll let her do it herself. Bongi, welcome to BVM.
Thank you, my friend. And congratulations to you too. I mean,
thank you.
Just thinking about where we've been, and look, we're here in an entire studio, your studio. And I hope you get a chance to tell your story. It's just as amazing.
It'll come.
And
It'll
beautiful.
come.
So thank you, my friend. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for making the time. And I know that you are very busy. Bongiwe, please formally introduce yourself. Where you've been, what you do, and where you are right now.
Oh, sure. So, igama Bongiwe Msweli. I am one of a pair of twins. I was born in Johannesburg, actually. I was raised between Johannesburg and KZN.
Yeah.
My mom is from KZN. My dad is from Swaziland. I don't know. I'm currently, let's take 2 steps back. Before I arrived to where I certainly arrived, I was with the Wits University as a programs and projects administrator for about a decade, 10 years. And during that period, decided to let me go back to where I've always wanted to go and study. Studied my LLB, and that's when I achieved my Bachelor of Laws.
Yes. Say that again. That's when I achieved. Please say it again.
That's where I achieved my Bachelor of Laws degree. The university actually gave me an opportunity and said, look, we'll carry you study, and I took it all in, and I'm here now. Founded BVM Attorneys. I'm the director and founder of BVM Attorneys Incorporated.
Respect me in the streets, guys, because I've got people that can protect me in the space. Respect me in the streets. Congratulations once more. Like I said, that this is actually one of the ways that I wanted to honor your journey, that I wanted to also make an impact through conversation. I mean, you and I, just in terms of our friendship as well, we've always had these really productive, positive conversations. The topic for this season is channeling your inner fire to pursue your success. And one thing that is definitely very set and clear about you, Bongi, is that you've got that fire. You're a silent mover. That's one thing I know about you. Therefore, what I'd like to find out is, in you being who you are, because it's clear from the first time we met back in the day as friends, I was like, this girl knows who she is. How or where does that fire or that ability to really say, even though it's not verbally or vocally, the world, I'm here, Bongiwe Msweli is here. Where does that come from?
Oh, honestly, Noluthando, I'm not even going to lie. It was, I think in my early 20s, about 2024, when we say we went back to the basics, and that was in spirituality. I've just always been a very spiritually inclined person.
Yes.
And even during that period, it was a time when people were not so spiritually inclined. So it got me to a point where I had to take a step back and say, not everything needs to be told and not everything needs to be shared. Allow your life to be the one to speak for itself.
Yes.
So I've just always been reserved in how I do things, and allow my work to allow for it to speak for itself. So one of my actually very favorite Bible scriptures is, my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge.
Yes.
And for me now, what that says is just like, my people are destroyed for not knowing who they are and what they possess inside of them. So those conversations have a tendency of becoming quite robust with people. So I came to a point where there's certain conversations that I'm not going to have with people, because I believe if something serves you and you believe in it, allow it to channel you, and it makes you happy, let it be. you can't have spiritual conversations with people whereby they feel defensive. It's not. There's no reason for us to have a defensive conversation about something that serves you. If you really truly believe in that thing and it serves you beautifully, let it be.
Yeah.
So I've just always been one who's understood as people, when it comes to our knowledge and understanding of any subject matter, we're always going to be gravitate towards what serves us.
Yeah.
And I've come to just accept that as is. So I think that's what's always driven me.
Yes.
Be accepting of myself and be accepting of the next person and their perspective, and just drive myself. If people are willing to hear and have a conversation, not a debate.
Yeah.
I think we're in an era where everyone wants to debate and wants to have their point given. I was never there. I've always respected another person's perspective and respect mine. I have this belief, Yoguti, if a belief does not serve you, it controls you.
Yes.
And if a belief serves you, then I can only respect that for you.
Yes.
There's no reason for me to try and change your mind about that. But simply just say, look, it serves you. Kudos to you, my darling.
I really love the fact that you bring up the spirituality element of your life, which you said that it surfaced very early in your 20s.
Absolutely.
How has that impacted what you do and who you have become? The spirituality that governs you, or your spirituality rather. How has it impacted you? Because so many times, and this really stems from the fact that I speak to a lot of people. People send me DMs, right? And people still struggle to connect spirituality with who and what they should become, especially the younger generation.
Absolutely.
Where you'll find maybe, say, someone in their 20s or someone heading towards their 30s, even much older, they really cannot pair the spiritual element with the identity or who they are on earth, so to speak. So how have you managed to actually, mold yourself whilst ensuring that you are spiritually intact?
For sure. This is a conversation, Thando, that could go on for days and hours, because the reality is that as Amantabamnyama Black people, our spirituality has always been the forefront of being deconstructed and being fought against by any other type of belief that was brought in by Abelungu or white people. Now, one of the first things that they made sure which they wanted to destroy about us was our belief in our spirituality, which was an understanding which as soon as a person accepts their spirituality, it's over. They are going to be their most powerful, their most strongest, and their most stern. More than that, solid. That's what spirituality does for a person. It solidifies who you are. Let us all agree. Unkulunkulu, God.
Yes.
We cannot see him. We cannot touch him. We cannot perceive him with this eye. He is an energy. An energy that is above all energies. When it comes to any level of consciousness, it is God. It is above any other form of energy. Now, when he said, I created you in my image, what does that say about me? I'm God. Now, it's an uncomfortable thing for a person who does not believe that. How can they be God? But he said it in the book. I've created you in my image and in my likeness. You are like this. So, Mina, when I walk around, I am God. Because, and then he said, create. Create anything that you want to create, and it shall be done, because this is how you perceive me. There's a beautiful boy. His name is Nero Knowledge. One of the YouTubers, I think he's about 23.
Yeah.
Please, when you get a chance, my friend, just listen to this boy. And he gives you such a beautiful perspective about, there's a word that he's carved out. It's called perspective. Perspective, but it's all about perceptions.
Yes.
Perception, and how whatever you perceive, you're able to make it bigger. Now, my perception of my spirituality and who I am is that I am here, God is here, and I am here. Anything else that I make above that, then do you understand? I'm now putting God below that.
Yeah.
So now, when you start believing other things beyond that and vibrating those things on a level beyond what God is, that now you're idolizing those things. Now God is no longer the biggest and the most highest level of consciousness, and that's what it is.
It's a partnership.
That's what.
Because the minute you said he's here, I'm here, it's a partnership. And that's what your life really is, to be honest.
He will never try to impose himself. He's not going to impose. He's going to tell you that this is what I am. You decide how you are going to perceive me and what I can do for you.
I love that.
It's a partnership. So that's why my spirituality, take it all away from me, Thando. Take away my education, take away my law firm, take away anything, but don't take away my relationship with God.
And no one actually can. That's the beauty of it, actually. No one can even dare.
Right? You can take it all, and what I know is that if you can leave me with this guy and my perception of who I am with him,
game over.
Sorted.
You see why I bring you the guests I bring you? And the reason why I started and I wanted myself and Bongi to start from this angle is to really start the foundation, to really draw or display the foundation. Because as I always say, a lot of people struggle to match I think to match is the right word, success with spirituality.
Yeah.
Because we have now been comfortable in really having these narratives that successful people are evil, successful people are this, successful people are that. And granted, no one is perfect. There's the dark and the light in everything. However, if you know who you are and you've got that foundation of God and spirituality, anything is possible for you, as Bongi just said. To take away everything, but you're not going to take away the relationship I have with God, and you will not take away the perception I have of myself.
Absolutely.
Right. Let's now go right into your journey. You started working at the age of 22.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And that's why you were at Wits.
So, between Wits and when I first got my first job, actually driving to the studios was an entire, it was a whole episode for me. My first job was there's the studios just on the other side.
Yes.
So complex, as a receptionist there, was there for about 5 years, actually. And then life happened. The whole economy crashed. And I was left without a job.
Yeah.
I think that was my first experience of what challenges are. And then I moved to Wits University after being unemployed for a period of about 2 years.
Yeah.
And then I moved to Wits University.
Yeah. Was it always your dream and goal to actually own a law firm?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
Absolutely
How
not.
did we get here?
So, all I wanted to be was to be a lawyer. I was this beautiful little girl, and teacher asked you, what do you want to be when you grow up?
Yeah.
And it was a childhood dream. I want to be a lawyer. So being a lawyer for me was just about looking pretty and looking good, and more than anything, serving people. I think innately in me, I've just always had the spirit of service, right? And I just wanted to be a lawyer. Law firm, that was too big. It just didn't make sense. I didn't even think of it. Because again, perception. As soon as you make something way higher than you and bigger than you, that's exactly how it's going to be. But owning my law firm was never part of the dream. But being a lawyer.
A lawyer. So you achieved, obviously, being a lawyer.
Yes.
And then when does it change? When do you wake up and decide, I want bigger, I want better? The reason I want these details is because there's always someone at home doubting themselves. There's always someone thinking, oh, but why should I go bigger? Why should I go greater? Because the fear of success is really there, right?
Absolutely.
You get people that have so many amazing qualities, from intelligence to humility and grace, even to the beauty. But then they decide, okay, let me just be intelligent, but I'm not going to showcase my beauty.
Absolutely.
So take me to the moment, the day, the morning when you said, actually, I'm the girl for the law firm.
There's nothing as more important, Thando, as having the people around you are always going to be an indicator of where you're going. Whether they are bringing negative energy or positive energy. So I served my articles in a law firm in 2022. 2023, I literally was unemployed for the entire year. And my partner, Obab Kumalo, was like, just open your own firm.
Did you hear that? My partner, Obab Kumalo. All right, take note.
And for him, he's always just been a person who says he's a creative. He's a creative,
yes.
An amazing creative. And he's always believed in people just standing on their own. And he's always had that in me, Guti, you can do this, you know? And he says, why don't you just open your own firm?
Itatazelment.
I was like, what? He's like, you can do this.
What in that moment, if you can just take me through the dialogue that's happening in your head, right? Because like I'm saying, these conversations are microscopic so that people get to understand the conversations one would have and the resolution that comes after that conversation that then propels you to go to the next level. So what was making you tatazel? What was making you think?
Oh, no, the most obvious. I mean, there's a word that there's a hive mind in any industry.
Yeah.
There's a hive mind. In the legal industry, the hive mind is that there are big five law firms.
Yeah.
And unless you're in these big five, you're nothing. Right? In the legal fraternity, there's the hive mind and belief, Yoguti, you are nothing without, unless you have a superior who is a staunch white man
or a giant of some kind.
You won't make it. So it was industry hive minds and beliefs that literally put me in a corner, and I said, I can't do this. Because there's a hive mind and a negative belief, and it's an entity. It's created through people thinking that same thing, Wuti, you can't do this one. And then it creates a hive mind in that industry, Wuti. That's exactly how it is. And it's all a lie.
Sure.
Because now if there's an entity here and people believe in this thing, they create this thing. Take, for example, in the industry of creativity. There's this belief. It's a belief, whether true or not, Wuti, if you go into the creative space, you are doomed for poverty.
True.
Right? It's a belief. Now, if you also operate on the basis of that belief, forgetting the perception, Wuti, there's a God who is beyond this belief, what is going to happen? You're going to be impoverished.
And be stuck.
And stuck.
And never experience what your soul is yearning for you to experience.
Because now you have now taken this hive mind belief and made it your own. When you did not know about this belief, you were perfectly okay.
You were a big dreamer. You used to be confident. Yeah.
Now, somebody comes and gives you this nonsensical belief and you take it up. And this is why I'll say, if a belief does not serve you, it will be there to control you. So decide whether this belief, is it serving me or is it controlling me? Simple as that.
So how do you then, as Bongi, change from doubt and being stuck in this hive mind mentality? How do you change? How do you then decide, actually, I want you to take me through that process of what did you tell yourself? What did you convince yourself that I'm gonna do it anyways?
It's that Thando, nothing else more, but it's being solid in your beliefs and saying, you know what, it does not matter. Akunandaba, what society believes, akunandaba, what the industry believes, this is what I believe. This is what my family believes, this is what my partner believes. So it's always going to be a play on that negative play and that positive play.
Yes.
What are you going to decide to operate on the basis of? And that's what I decided to do. Operate on the basis of positivity. You can do this. I'm possible. I'm going to take up space. And it's all of that, Thando.
And knowing how big your God is.
Hello.
Because that's what you said. I love the fact that you said,
Perception, projection.
Yeah,
that's the word. Perception, projection. God, the highest. Nothing goes beyond that. And if anything, if a problem comes right now, Thando, and you've been sitting here and a problem comes,
yes.
but your car's broken down. The first thing that you do is like, what am I going to do? No, the first thing that you do is, God's got this. Sorted.
Yeah.
Or go to how it's going to be sorted, it's none of my business. He said he will make sure what is sorted and I go to sleep.
I love that. Uguti, how? It's none of my business, but God's got this. Now, you are now a businesswoman.
Yeah.
Right? Outside of, being a law girly, you're now a businesswoman. What are the challenges that are there, and how do you then tackle them? Because we all know, and not to be political or throw a pity party, we all know things and certain systems, especially for this beautiful melanin color, always challenging, right?
Yeah.
But we're not here for that. We're here to really elevate ourselves and hone in our attitude so that we can overcome. what are the challenges that you faced, or even just narratives that are not only in your industry, but even when it comes to like your business peers, colleagues, etc.?
For sure. Like I said, that whole belief, I'm a hive mind beliefs of certain industry. If you're a black girl and now you're owning a law firm, some people still believe, Guti, as black people, we don't have the information or the power that white firms do, which is a lie. There's nothing that somebody seated in a top 5 law firm, the information that I don't have. We all have here. It's all our minds that we're bringing. It's all our strategies. So I just want to break and remove that narrative and that belief from people and society that black law firms or small law firms even do not have the capacity to carry cases that, or matters rather, that are as big as that. There's nothing that we are incapable of doing. Give us a chance. Give us an opportunity and let us show you. And if you're unhappy, well, but give us an opportunity, right? So that's the biggest thing. It's just to break that societal belief that we can't do this. There's nothing that I can't do.
Yes.
If they can do it, I can do it better.
Now, Bongi, in terms of the services that your law firm offers, I know for a number of people, professionals, businesswomen, businessmen, actually, let me say business people that specialize in any industry, there's usually some kind of sentiment, tied in with the services. I know there will be someone who say, I offer services to protect women, say when they're going through, for example, a divorce, because when I was young, I saw that there was no one who stood up for my mom. Absolutely. Or who stood up for, I guess our well-being. Is there any sentimental link between the services that you offer in your law firm? And I guess that's the question.
Okay, I guess the sentiment more, I think, is just for me.
Yeah.
I'm the sentiment who decided to look. I grew up in a society that was obviously just unequal in every way.
Yes.
And I've always just wanted to be one who will be able to serve on the highest level that I could. So with the services that I decided to focus on,
yes,
it was based on that. So the law itself is divided into what we call civil and criminal, right? So my biggest and my most important is more on the civil side of litigation as opposed to criminal side of litigation, where you'll find your family law aspects, which are very, very close and dear to me. So I would say that it's more of me on a personal basis where I decide, I've always just wanted to serve.
Yes.
So our biggest portfolio is just on the civil litigation side of things, and our most prominent one would be the family law services.
What does serving do for you? Because, you mention it very unapologetically.
Absolutely.
And we are living in a time where everyone, I guess, is on that I must be served soft life type of thing. And you come across people like yourself, different individuals, especially in the season. I mean, I've spoken to the likes of Margaret Hirsch, Ulihle. In the center, the crux of everything that they do, it's about serving other people. And that tells me that there's a lot that must be educated, or there's a lot of education that really must be shared between, or let me say around serving, because we have a generation, especially you younger people, they're in that whole, I'm the main character, I'm the one, I'm the, so what does serving do for you as a person or even as a firm?
Again, I'll go back to that issue of my core thing and belief, Wuti, and when God gave. We are here, not for ourselves. We are here, and with the giftings that we have, it's not going to serve me to serve myself.
Ish.
How is serving myself going to serve me and share what I have inside of me if I'm not here to share it with other people?
I felt that. It's not going to serve me to serve myself.
It's not. I feel no sense of satisfaction. I think with anything that a person aspires to do, Thando, it's all about satisfaction. How they are satisfied in that. Mina, it satisfies me to share what I have innately with another person and assist them in whichever way, and they say, kwaze kwangcono. I feel so much better in whichever aspect, you know. So, and that satisfies me. It satisfies the urge and the anger inside of me to just serve.
To just serve. I love that, Bongi. It doesn't serve me to, what did you say?
It doesn't serve me to serve myself.
To serve myself. That is so empowering. You are a mom.
I am.
Of two gorgeous, and you know I'm your firstborn's fan.
Yes.
No hate to the secondborn, really. My friend, buddy. How do you structure your life in a way that is still conducive to you being a mother? Because the path that you are on now is not an easy path.
Absolutely.
Right? Your time, your energy specifically is divided into many different elements. So how do you structure everything so that everyone that needs you, everyone that lives through you, especially your children, and of course other people that you love, are able to get everything that they need from you?
Thank you so much. Hello, boys. Yes, I have two very beautiful boys. I even forget their ages. I'm terrible with numbers. I think he's 16.
Yeah, he's 16 because,
and an 8-year-old. Now, I'm thoroughly convinced that everything that I do now is structured and centered around them. I made it my ambition to make sure I create an environment so conducive that they make sure they will one day believe in themselves and to make sure they know who they are. Now, I was raised by an amazing mom who taught me one thing: sacrifice. It's unfortunate we grew up, I was raised by a single parent and I am a single mom, but even in that environment, I did not feel it. Now, I have an amazing support structure where I have my mom, my brother who lives with my boys, and then I have an amazing partner as well. So we make sure abasweli now. They are brilliant. My first boy is a creative. So there's things that he has to do. The second one is a sports star. So we're always at sports. So time management for me is of the essence. But I will never sacrifice what they desire first to what I have to do. So my work is very demanding, but it will never ever compromise what they need. They come first.
And what has motherhood done for you? The reason I ask this question is because there's always a recurring online conversation on socials. People, which I respect everyone's choice. Some people say, I don't want to be a mother. Some people say, if I could choose not to be a mom, though I'm a mom now, I would not choose it. And some people say, you know what, give me 8 children any day, I'll do it. But what has motherhood done specifically for Bongiwe?
What it has absolutely taught me, again, Thando, is my kids have shown and taken out of me elements that I never knew what I had. They'll teach you patience. That's the biggest, especially the small one. I think Uzwe Libanzi came and said, you think you're patient. Second born. You think you're patient. Let me show you. So, but having them around has shown even myself with my own capabilities. Hey, I actually have that thing in me. You thanda umuntu unconditionally. I love my kids out of nowhere. Unconditionally. They could make me mad and it does not change the fact that I love them unconditionally. So they taught me agape, unconditional
love.
They taught me Uguti more than anything and who I am and the strength that I have in me. And they taught me to dream even bigger. You know, they were the catalyst and I think the drivers of me saying, Uguti, hey, I'd like to have more. I can do more. So they've really been a catalyst and a driver in who I am today. And I think the biggest thing is just that agape love and that unconditional love. No matter what they do or what happens, I'll always love them.
They've opened up your hearts, basically. I mean, when we talk agape love, we are talking big things, eh? Agape love. It's like that love that is just God love, that knows no wrong. You keep on forgiving because, I mean, your children, where do you know?
Because they are their own person. Me, I'm here, I'm a vessel. They came through me. But they have their own personalities, have their own characters, and they have their own ambitions as well. But they have questions and questions and questions. They're still young. And they're always going to push me. But I need to always remember that, I'm not raising a me. I'm raising a them who have their own questions and their own ambitions and their own whatever. So, but I need to always remain and say solid. I'm always going to love them, no matter what.
Agape love.
Agape love.
That's it. But Bumovation is beauty paired with motivation, right? And you're beautiful. You look beautiful, as always. So what I want to know is, what is it that you do to maintain your sense of self? Because when we're on the Bumovation podcast, when we speak about beauty, we're not talking about the superficial. The lashes, the hair, the outfit, that's really the manifestation of what is happening on the inside, right? So how do you then ensure that the bongi we see outside is in alignment with the bongi that is inside? Because we know the pressures of life, they come with many, many different things. And people use different coping mechanisms, alcohol, drugs, sometimes even sexual acts and stuff.
For sure.
So how do you align yourself? How do you keep that beauty that is inside, ensuring that it will manifest on the outside?
Absolutely. And there's no, if you really want to see what a person thinks and what a person's life is like, you just look at their life.
Yeah.
And what is happening around their life and everything. So Thando, for me now, my spirituality is my first point of call. I meditate, I pray, I read. Read my Bible every single day. I think I know it now from back and forth. And I gym every single day. And for these things, why I do them is to make sure that I'm able to create my desired reality. A desired reality will only be created through your mentality and how you think and how you are, and just be. God said, be still and know. Be. So if I'm able to be, and for me, it is always going to be intrinsic and inside of me. What I believe in, what I read. I always say, Guti, it's not just the things that you see, it's everything that you consume.
Correct.
That will ultimately frame how you see and how you think and what you do, right? So everything that I listen to, I don't watch a lot of TV, if none at all, actually. Everything that I listen to, even radio, I'm very sensitive to what I eat. So it's not just the food that we eat and that we consume that will affect how we perceive things. It's everything that we listen to. It's everyone that we listen to.
Yes.
It's everyone that we chill with, and it's everyone that is around us and in our space. So I'm very sensitive with what I allow around my space, who I allow around my space, what I listen to. Consumption is everything for me.
I got that loud and clear, and I hope you got it too. In terms of now the actual look, there are people that still believe that image doesn't really matter.
Oh, no.
You've got your degree, you've got your law firm, you're fine, you're educated, or you're rich, or you're comfortable. And whichever way that you show up because, you are who you are. What's your opinion on that?
Respect the moment, Thando. When I say respect the moment, I'm not just meaning us seated here. My sheer existence and the opportunity to live is a moment. We're here just for a few seconds. We think this life thing is a long thing.
Yeah.
It's a moment. And I'm all about respecting the moment. So I will make sure when I show up in this moment, I'm going to show up holistically. So meaning, if I have decided, now I'm talking about myself,
yes,
I'm going to make sure I show up with my hair did, my makeup did, my body at size 28, and I was walking with my partner the other day, was so petite little white woman like this, and this cute little body, and I was like, I want that body.
Yeah.
And I started walking towards it. But for Mina, it's all about respecting this life moment thing. I have decided, Uguti, this is how I want to look. This is how I want people to see me. But more than anything, this is how I'm going to show up to this moment of life in totality, holistically. How I dress, how I speak, how I sit, how I eat, in every way. So it's about respecting the moment. Show up. No matter how you're feeling, no matter what the day is like, show up to this life thing, because there's somebody who doesn't have this moment. This is not a practice run, guys.
Sure. It's not.
We're going to do this thing once. And can I please just do it with firecrackers cracking every day? Because put on that outfit every day and look your bestest, but respect the moment. I have decided to respect this moment. I have decided to respect this life thing because God decided, hey, I'm going to give you a chance to do this life thing, and I just want to do it magically.
As you're saying this, respect this moment, I'm listening to you, and I'm also channeling the lady that was trending a couple of months ago, who was in Pakistan, who kept saying, respect for the law. Okay, I'll send you her videos because she went to Pakistan. Just a little bit of a digress. And the reason it's popping up is because you are a law girly. So she went to Pakistan, right? And then she was just there, and there were complications because she was like a refugee foreigner and she had to go back. But her confidence, as you're speaking, saying respect the moment, she was telling everyone that, listen, respect for the law. I'm here. Don't ask me so many questions, but I'll bring you up to speed with that.
Thank you. No. That's like I'm hardly on.
It's okay. We'll do it for you. It's okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So, Bongs, in terms of looking back, when you look back, I mean, we all come from Ekasi,
Yes.
We all come from Soweto. Soweto. We all come from Ekasi, and I do it so often where I look back and look, it's not that I'm anywhere near where I envision, right?
Yeah, for sure.
But when I look back, where I come from and where I'm at and where I'm heading, what would you say to her, the young girl growing up Ekasi? And you are from the Lanikasi, actually. Let me say growing up at DK. Let me be specific, growing up at DK. And to the Bongi that you are now, today, what would you say? What would you, I think that's the main question. What would you say?
No, you know what? Lalela, so my friends call me gangster.
Yeah.
I am to the core a Gussie girl and will forever be grateful to what the Gussie gave me.
Yeah.
Like I said again, Tando, it's going back to the respect the moment.
Yeah, respect the law.
Respect the law, respect the moment, right? I totally believe, Wuti, a person needs to be wholesome. Be street, be credit, be hood, and then in the boardroom, be a businesswoman, be a slayer in the boardroom. So what the streets and what the hood gave me is a nice mix of a girl who's going to chill and then in the boardroom, baby girl, we're going to slay. We're going to talk the numbers, we're going to talk the law and whatever. So it gave me a nice mix of just being a wholesome woman. So I want to thank that girl who was able to, and yes, it was the Lonnie side, but I grew up in the depths of Soweto where it taught you, it gave you what we call street cred.
Cred, yes.
It gave you street cred, but uphilisana nabantu, you know, and how to be okay with every single situation and be able to just move in within different circumstances. You know, this life calls for us to be able to shift and to change in different moments and in different places and morph. You know, nothing is as consistent as change. Change and change in the moment, change in the circumstances, change in everything needs for us to be able to move through those things swiftly and easily and be able to. So now, as a girl, Okulele Soweto, I'll forever be grateful for that.
Oh, I love that.
I shame. I'm who didn't grow up in the hood and then move their way up.
We don't know what to tell you. Sorry. We don't know what to tell you.
It's really a gift that God gave us, and I love it.
And I want to pick your brain a little bit just to extend that part of Ikasi, that conversation of Ikasi. How you described it is exactly how I feel about growing up Ikasi.
Yeah,
it gives you that ability to morph, you know, to just be hood, to also be channeled and ambitious, because a lot of things happened to Ikasi that made us think and believe that, you know what, I can do it. Whether it was rebelling against the apartheid regime, whether it was standing up for certain things, certain ideals, or whether it was even the toxic stuff, right?
Yeah.
And I know that all of that mix bred a type of people like us, like yourself. But at the same time, it also bred a type of people that kind of have kind of been blinded by this dark cloud, right? And the question I really want to ask is that, what do you think is the differentiator between yourself, where you are and where you're going, and someone who grew up in the exact, maybe same street or even the same location, township as you, but unfortunately was just riddled with darkness, toxicity, and never blooming to become who they were supposed to be.
Absolutely. I think, Thando, it's absolutely a mirage. We can't pinpoint just one thing and say this is it, but it's a mirage of things.
Yeah.
But one of the things and the main things is rather 2 points: belief and exposure. Belief in self and the beliefs that you carry, and exposure to different lives and different worlds. Those things will catalyze you, and so I had an opportunity, and my mom was a single parent.
Yes.
My mom was a nurse, but she had an opportunity to go work overseas, and she gave me a chance, Thando, to work, to go to school, to a pretty one that they consider an affluent school.
Yes.
In South Africa. It was a private school, and St. Mary's, and that space then exposed me to a world of opportunities and a world of things, right? Now, with Soweto and St. Mary's put together, in Soweto, we were already the people who were exposed to other lives as well, TV, and stuff like that. So those things put together and my beliefs, if a person already is sitting on a cloud, Yoguti, I was never bought for this. There's nothing I can do for you to believe differently.
Sure.
If you're exposed in that Yoguti, guphelelala, there's nothing I can do for you. I believe unfortunately is intrinsic.
Yeah.
To all individuals, to all of us. So for me, belief and exposure that a person is granted, and a mirage of other things, but Kakulu, when you believe in a certain way, it will ultimately propel and catalyze you in how you maneuver and go through life. And then the exposure as well to the different and the endless possibilities of life.
Thank you to Mama, because look at this girl. Listen to this girl. A St. Mary's girl that was right in the heart of Kasi. And I really love the fact that you brought this up, because as parents, sometimes we don't even know what we are doing, right? No. We just think, okay, let me send my child to a better school. Sure. Let me give my child better opportunities, not realizing that you are literally cooking up something dynamic in your child's mind. You're exposing them. So even to the parents that are out there, male or female, single parents, or parents that are in one home, please keep doing what you're doing, because we need more of the bongis of this world, Was there ever a time where you thought the bongi that you are today would not materialize, it would not be possible? Was there ever a time like that?
Absolutely. I can't sit here and behave like I am not to negativity. Negativity hits me, especially last year. I could say especially last year, when now you have this degree, you have this experience, you know that you're capable, but you're knocking on all these doors and everyone is just like, no, not for us. So the layer depression will set in a little bit, and that negativity will set in. Why did I even make that sacrifice? Because it was a huge jump for me. It was a sacrifice to say, look, I left a very cushy job.
Yes.
I left a very, very cushy job. With the work, with the employment at Wits, I managed to buy my kids and myself a home.
Yes.
And we had a car. We had a comfortable life.
Yes.
But there was something inside of me that says, this is not
the fire.
It was that
fire. And it burns, right?
That hunger. There's something. And I resigned. And they were shocked. What? And I was like, no, I need to pursue this. I pursued it, served my articles. I'm here now, ready to go, and doors are closing. I'm thinking, okay, what am I going to do now? I've sacrificed my kids' livelihood. What am I going to do? And it does set in. It does set in. But yeah, so I could say there were times where I felt, I've made a huge boo-boo. I shouldn't have done this.
And the reason I want to go even a little bit deeper in that regard is because I see it, especially on TikTok, professionals crying, people crying, saying, I've got these qualifications, I've done this, I've achieved this, but there's nothing. Yeah. When does it change? When did it change for you? What happened?
Oh no, absolutely. I think it was that unction from my support when they said, look, you can do this by yourself.
By yourself.
You don't need anybody else. You on your own are a practice.
Sure.
Just do this. And this is why I will always say the people around you are always going to either help you to succeed or to fail. And I have an amazing support system that says, you can do this. It was a morning, literally like you said when you asked the question,
yes.
It was a morning seated, having breakfast, and it was an aha moment.
Because these life-changing decisions, they come at dawn, from 12 o'clock to 4, or right in the morning when you wake up, you're like, actually, let me start a podcast. So that's why I always like asking about these moments.
We were pajamas and all, and it was like, yes, that's what's going to happen. I'm going to do this. And everything started to align. All these, what I consider cooperative components, will start coming together. People will start coming together. Ideas, creativity, office. Where am I going to... I knew where my office was going to be. It just came. So everything started to come in together, and the rest is history.
Are you happy?
Happy does not even begin to define it. I'm satisfied. I am satisfied beyond measure. For sure, I want more. But I'm so happy and satisfied that the decision was made and all these components started coming together, and I'm here now.
I'm satisfied. I am satisfied, says my guest. And Bongi, it has been absolutely amazing, as I imagined. You see, people say you like to act like you're intelligent. Guys, these are the people and this is just 0.1% of the people I hang around with, right?
Yeah.
And like Bongi said herself, the people around you propel you.
Yeah,
and when you are hanging around someone like a Bongi, someone like whoever my friends are, and those people are in your network, whether they are creatives, whether they are professionals, whether they're in HR, you are then propelled to also reach your best in your own way. And I'm so happy and glad that we had this conversation. I've always known you as a woman of great depth. And after this, I know that, you can only fly bigger, better. And like I said in the streets, please respect me because I've got law. Respect the law. Respect for the law. Respect for God. To anyone out at home, please speak into the camera so that they can see you, they can hear you. To anyone at home who thinks, it's not happening for me. It won't happen for me because of my background, because of where I come from, because I didn't go to St. Mary's, because I don't have a friend that has a podcast, I don't have a partner. What do you have to say to them?
First and foremost, if anything that you perceive is bigger than God, then know that's exactly how it's going to be for you. But if you know and believe that there's nothing beyond your God, then there's nothing that you can't achieve. It may be difficult. That's the pendulum of life. There's good times, there's bad times, but always know, Wuti, there's a God who's always going to be beyond and above and the highest level of consciousness that you will ever need in life. So yes, right now you're seated at home, but know that God is still carving out, and still everything works together for your good. One thing that I always believe every morning is that I don't lack anything, and everything, no matter how it is, works together for my good.
Everything works together for my good. This is Bumovation, another empowering episode. As I always say, we don't talk problems here. We talk solutions. We talk elevation. We talk stepping up. We talk leveling up. We talk you being the very best that you can be. And please take away everything that Bongi said, because if you don't, I'm going to take it away from myself, so that one day when I'm on global stages, don't ask me how I got there. I had a teachable spirit. Bongi, thank you so much for making the time. Thank you for unpacking. Thank you for sharing. And you came in and you came prepared. Respect, she came prepared to respect the moment, and we appreciate you. And I know for a fact that where you're heading, big stuff. I mean, I'm going to be one of your biggest clients.
Go.
So, I mean, it's given. Thank you, my Wongs. Thank you for coming.
Friend. Thank you, my friend. All the best, and thank you so much. This was amazing.
Tell your mom, tell your sister, tell your papa, even tell your ex to subscribe to this channel so they can be a better person. Until next time.